What if I told you that there is a people who have discovered the secret to having a cozy, organized home that brings true peace without needing thousands of objects scattered around every corner? The Danes, known for being some of the happiest people in the world, have created a philosophy of life called Hygge that has completely transformed the way they see their homes. While many people believe that to have a cozy home, you need to fill every space with decorations, pillows, objects, and souvenirs, they discovered exactly the opposite. If you've ever felt overwhelmed looking at your house full of stuff, if you've ever spent hours looking for something in the middle of the mess, or if you feel like your home doesn't convey that sense of peace you so desire, this video will change your perspective forever. I'll show you 10 secrets from the Danish that you can apply to your home today, starting with the simplest corners and completely transforming the environment where you live. What you'll discover here aren't just common organization tips, but a true philosophy that combines simplicity with comfort in a way you never imagined possible. And best of all, you don't have to spend a fortune on new decor or throw everything out at once. Tip 1. The one object per surface rule. The first secret the Danes have for creating cozy homes without clutter is something they call conscious simplicity. They discovered that when every surface in your home has just one special object, instead of several things scattered around, the environment becomes much more beautiful and relaxing. Imagine walking into your living room and seeing just one scented candle on the coffee table, instead of remote controls, old magazines, dirty glasses, and 1,000 other things that usually end up there. The idea is very simple but revolutionary. Take every table, every sideboard, every shelf in your home, and leave just one beautiful thing on each one. It could be a small plant, a special photo, a book that you really like, or even an empty but charming ceramic bowl. The important thing is that it is just one thing, and that it has meaning to you or brings beauty to the environment. When you do this, an interesting magic happens. Your eyes can rest when they look at your surroundings, instead of getting lost trying to process thousands of visual information at once. It's as if your mind can finally breathe inside your own home. The Danes realized that the brain needs clean spaces to truly relax, and when we relax at home, our quality of life improves completely. Start today by choosing 3 surfaces in your home. Remove everything from them, clean them thoroughly, and place just one pretty object on each one. You'll be amazed at the difference this makes in the feel of the space. Your home will look more expensive, more organized, and much more cozy, without you having to spend a single cent. Tip 2. The power of natural textures. The Danes have a healthy obsession with materials that come from nature, and it's no coincidence. They've discovered that wood, wool, linen, cotton, and other natural materials create a sense of warmth that synthetic materials simply can't replicate. It's as if these materials speak directly to a primitive part of our brain that still remembers when we lived more connected to nature. The secret is to choose a few pieces, but make them from good quality natural materials. Instead of having 10 synthetic fabric cushions on your sofa, have 2 or 3 made of linen or cotton. Swap that plastic rug for one made of natural fiber, even if it's smaller. Choose a wool blanket instead of several synthetic blankets. The idea is always to have fewer items, but with materials that really make a difference in the feel of the room. One interesting thing that happens when you use natural materials is that they age beautifully. That wooden table that gains a patina over time, linen that gets softer with each wash, wool that becomes cozier with use. This is the opposite of synthetic materials, which often become ugly and worn over time. To start implementing this in your home, make a small conscious investment. Instead of buying a bunch of cheap synthetic items, save up to buy fewer items made from natural materials. This could be a linen tablecloth, an organic cotton pillowcase, or even a handmade ceramic vase. Every natural piece you add to your home will significantly increase the feeling of warmth and well-being in the space. Tip 3. The enlightenment that embraces one of the Danes' most important discoveries about creating a cozy environment is that lighting can make all the difference between a home that feels cold and one that embraces you when you walk in. They avoid harsh white overhead lights as much as possible, because these lights create a hospital or office feel, not a home. The secret is to have several sources of soft light spread throughout the house, always at eye level or lower. Think table lamps, candles, even string lights with small yellowish bulbs. The idea is that when you enter the room, the light comes from several different points, creating a feeling of envelopment and warmth. The Danes are big fans of candles, and not just for decoration. Candlelight has a special quality that calms the nervous system and creates an atmosphere of intimacy and peace. They even use candles during the day, especially in the darker months of the year. It's a way to bring emotional warmth into the room, even when it's cold outside. To transform the lighting in your home, start by turning off the main overhead light whenever possible. Turn on only the lowest, softest lights. If you don't have lamps or table lamps, you can improvise by placing a cloth or paper over a regular lamp to make the light softer and more yellowish. The important thing is to create the feeling that the light is embracing the room, rather than illuminating it harshly and directly. Now, before we move on to the next tip, if you're enjoying these tips from the Danish, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos about organization and well-being. And tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing where the people who follow the channel are. Now let's move on to the next tip that will completely change the way you see your home decor. Tip 4. Warm minimalism. There is a big difference between cold minimalism and warm minimalism, and the Danes have mastered the latter perfectly. Many people think that minimalism means having an empty, cold, characterless home, like those pictures in magazines that look like no one lives there. But Danish minimalism is exactly the opposite. It's about having less stuff, but making each thing special and bringing real joy to your life. The secret is to choose objects that tell a story, that have emotional meaning, or that simply make you smile when you look at them. It could be that teacup your grandmother gave you, the book that changed your life, a photo from an unforgettable trip, or even a beautiful rock you found on the beach. The important thing is that each object in your home has a special reason for being there. The Danes have an interesting rule. Before bringing anything new into their home, they ask themselves whether it will add real joy to their lives or whether it will just be another thing taking up space. It's as if each object goes through a job interview before it gets a place in their home. This means that they have few objects, but all of them are very special and meaningful. To apply this to your home, start by making a conscious selection of the objects you already have. Take every decoration, every ornament, every single thing that is in your living room or bedroom, and ask yourself honestly, does it bring me joy when I look at it? Does it have some special meaning, or is it just taking up space? The objects that don't pass this test can be donated or stored, leaving only those that really make a difference in your daily happiness. Tip 5. Strategic cozy corners. One of the smartest things the Danes do in their homes is to create little cozy corners throughout the rooms. They don't try to make the whole house cozy at once, but rather create little havens where a person can sit, relax, and feel completely enveloped by a sense of well-being. These corners don't have to be big or expensive. They could be a comfortable armchair near the window with a blanket on top, a corner on the floor with cushions and a low lamp, or even a small bench in the bedroom with a book and a candle next to it. The important thing is that it's a space designed specifically for the relaxation and well-being of the person using it. The Danes make sure that every cozy corner has 3 basic elements: a comfortable place to sit or lie down, soft lighting, and something that brings sensory pleasure, such as a soft blanket, a cup of tea, or the scent of a candle. It's as if each corner is a little emotional spa within the home itself. The most interesting thing is that when you have these cozy corners, you naturally start to use your home differently. Instead of always sitting on the couch in the living room watching TV, you can go to the reading nook in the bedroom or to the relaxation space near the kitchen window. This allows you to enjoy all the spaces in your home much more. To create your first cozy corner, choose a space in your home that you already like, even if it's small. Add something comfortable to sit in, a soft light, and an element that brings you pleasure, such as a small plant, a candle, or even soft music. Use this corner at least once a day, even if it's just to have a cup of tea or read a few pages of a book. Tip 6. The art of less is more in decoration. The Danes revolutionized the way we think about decorating when they discovered that a room looks much more beautiful and cozy when it has few decorative elements, but each one is truly special. They prefer to have a single piece of art on the wall that they really love, rather than several small ones that don't mean anything special. The secret is to choose pieces that have a visual and emotional impact. This could be a large photograph that brings back fond memories, a painting by a local artist, or even a wall painted in a special color that serves as art in its own right. The important thing is that when you look at that piece of art, it causes a positive reaction, whether it be joy, peace, or simply visual satisfaction. One interesting thing that happens when you reduce the amount of decoration is that each piece that remains gets much more attention and stands out. It's as if each decorative element becomes a star in the room instead of getting lost in the crowd of objects. This makes your home have a much stronger and more striking personality. The Danes also found that rooms with less decoration are much easier to keep clean and organized. When you have fewer things to dust, fewer things to tidy, fewer items to organize, you have more time and energy to actually enjoy your home instead of constantly taking care of it. To apply this philosophy, do a simple exercise. Choose a room in your house and remove half of the decorative elements that are in it. Keep these pieces for a week and observe how you feel in the space. You will most likely notice that the space has become more relaxing, more elegant, and easier to keep organized. After this experience, you can consciously decide which pieces deserve to return to the room. Tip 7. Plants as silent companions. One of the most beautiful discoveries the Danes have made about creating cozy homes is the special role that plants play in domestic well-being. They don't just see plants as decoration, but as quiet companions that bring life, energy, and a special connection with nature into the home. The secret is not to have a flower shop in your home, but to choose a few plants that really make a difference to the air quality and the feeling of the environment. The Danes prefer plants that are easy to care for and that have an interesting visual impact, such as a large plant in the corner of the living room or a few small ones scattered around strategic points of the house. They discovered that plants have an almost magical effect on people's moods. When you come home and see something green and alive growing in your home, it triggers a primitive part of your brain that associates plants with safety, abundance, and life. It's as if plants are sending a silent message to your subconscious that this is a good place to be. Additionally, caring for plants brings a sense of purpose and connection to natural cycles that we often lose in modern urban life. Watering a plant, watching it grow, watching new leaves sprout, all of this creates a care routine that is very relaxing and rewarding. To start adding plants to your home the way the Danes do, choose 1 or 2 species that are known for being hardy and easy to care for. Place them in areas where you pass by frequently during the day so you can observe and interact with them naturally. You don't have to turn it into a flower shop. Just choose green companions that bring life and freshness to your home. Tip 8. Colors that soothe the soul. The Danes have a special relationship with color and have discovered that soft, natural tones create the perfect foundation for a cozy home. They avoid bright or contrasting colors on walls and main furniture, preferring shades that are reminiscent of nature: creamy whites, grayish beiges, soft greens, and grayish blues that are reminiscent of cloudy skies. The key is to create a color palette that acts as a visual hug. Bright colors can be stimulating and energizing, but they aren't necessarily relaxing. The Danes discovered that when a room has a base of soft colors, It creates a calming backdrop that allows other elements, like textures and lighting, to shine even brighter. This doesn't mean that the home is characterless or monochromatic. They add visual interest through different shades of the same color family and use natural textures and materials to create depth and visual richness. It's like a symphony of soft tones, where each element harmonizes perfectly with the others. One interesting thing that happens when you use this softer color palette is that your nervous system automatically relaxes when you enter the room. It's as if these colors are sending a message to your brain that this is a safe and calm place to be. Before I move on to the next tip, I want to tell you about something special I prepared for those who want to go beyond this video. It's a complete guide with organization secrets that completely transformed my home and can transform yours too. The link is in the pinned comment, and for a limited time, I'm offering a special discount for channel subscribers. Now let's continue with the next tips, which are some of my favorites. Tip 9. Daily wellness rituals. One of the most profound discoveries the Danes have made about creating a cozy home is that the physical environment works best when combined with daily rituals that nourish the soul. They don't just organize their homes, they create small, everyday ceremonies that transform ordinary activities into special moments of well-being. These rituals can be very simple. Lighting a candle every afternoon when you get home from work, always making tea in the same special cup, making your bed in the morning as an act of self-love, or even having a moment of silence and gratitude before going to sleep. The important thing is that they are conscious actions that connect you with the feeling of home and comfort. The Danes discovered that when you have these little rituals, your home stops being just a place where you sleep and keep your things, and becomes an emotional refuge where you truly reconnect with yourself. It's as if each ritual is a small declaration of love for your own well-being. The most interesting thing is that these rituals don't have to take up extra time in your day. In fact, they transform time that you would otherwise spend doing these activities into moments of pleasure and inner connection. It's the difference between simply turning on a light and lighting a candle with the intention of creating comfort. To start creating your own wellness rituals, choose an activity that you already do every day and think about how you can make it more special and mindful. This could be how you prepare breakfast, how you set up your desk, or how you get ready for bed. The important thing is to do this activity with full attention and with the intention of nurturing your well-being. Tip 10. The power of gratitude for spaces. The last and perhaps most important discovery the Danes made about creating cozy homes is to develop a genuinely grateful relationship with the spaces we live in. They understand that it doesn't matter if a house is big or small, new or old, expensive or simple. What truly makes a space a home is the energy of appreciation and care we put into it. The Danes have a habit of looking at their spaces with eyes of gratitude, recognizing how each corner of the house protects them, welcomes them, and serves their daily needs. They see the kitchen not just as a place to prepare food, but as the heart of the home where nourishment and love meet. They see the bedroom not just as a place to sleep, but as a sanctuary of rest and renewal. This shift in perspective creates a completely different energy in the home. When you look at your home with gratitude instead of criticism, when you appreciate what you have instead of focusing on what you lack, it changes not only how you feel about your home, but also how you care for it. Gratitude breeds care, and care breeds warmth. The Danes also do something really beautiful. They regularly take a moment to really notice and appreciate the details of their homes. The way the afternoon light streams through the window, the delicious smells wafting from the kitchen, the feeling of sinking into the sofa after a long day. These little moments of mindfulness transform an ordinary home into a truly special place. To apply this philosophy to your life, start by doing a simple exercise. Every day for a week, find one thing in your home that you feel genuinely grateful for. It could be the soft bed that welcomes you every night, the window that lets in natural light, or even the roof that protects you. When you develop this perspective of gratitude, your home will automatically become more welcoming because you will begin to see and treat it as the treasure that it truly is. So these were the 10 discoveries the Danes made about how to create cozy homes without clutter. The best part is that you don't need a lot of money, you don't need a big house, and you don't need to throw everything out at once. You can start applying one of these tips today, and you'll immediately feel the difference in the energy of your home. Remember, your home is so much more than just a place where you live. It's your refuge, your sanctuary, the place where you recharge your batteries to face the world. It deserves to be treated with care, gratitude, and mindful attention. When you apply these Danish philosophies to your life, you're not just organizing spaces, you're creating a home that truly nourishes your soul. Now I want to know from you, which of these tips will you apply first in your home? Tell us in the comments which one caught your attention the most. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss any tips on organization and well-being. Your cozy home is waiting for you, and you already have everything you need to start this transformation today.